So I'm going to do a walkthrough of the DFD we're doing class on Friday, which was the Bull Creek Social Club example. So the first thing I've done when I'm going to start my DFD is I've read through the scenario and I've identified what I think are the processes. And I have identified through the text, I've identified what I think is 4 processes. So the first one is, so I've got 4, draw my 4 circles. And then so the first one would be labeling it. Add new member. My second one that I've identified is plan activity. The third one is create newsletter. And my final one is create advert. Remember when you're looking through the scenario, when you're looking through the scenario, one of the biggest giveaways for the processes are looking for verbs. Okay, the next thing I want to find is I want to find my external entities. So as I read through, I think at the moment I can identify 2. So I've got members and newspaper or general public. Now it could be either is correct because that's who the data is flowing out to. So you could actually have newspaper company, or you could have general public as that other external entity. So I've identified 2 external entities at the moment. And the other things I'm looking for in my text is there any data stores? Now, words like file or database are obviously red flags for data store, as I can see too. Okay, so let's start putting these in. The first thing I'm looking for is I'm going to put my external entity, which is members, which is my create new members. So this will be members. Then reading through my scenario, they have created a system for tracking your club members as well as club activities. New member details. So there we go. New member details. And I've just realised I've labelled this wrong here. That there is not that new. That should be. No. There's no process there. It's the add new members. So I'm going to go across there like that, and this is going to be member details. And once they're added, there's a confirmation letter sent out. So also confirmation details. Confirmation details. Now we've got stuff going into the process, and it reads they need to be added to the member file. So let's put our data store over here. Call it member file. And so going into the member file, we need to have new member details. And then we need to feed the confirmation information back. So we'll put this back in here, and we'll go a member number or confirmation of the membership details. Any of those are fine to call it. Okay, so now we've got that first sentence about setting up a new member. Next bit. The social club committee meets to plan activities, and these are added by the secretary to the activities file. So there we go. They're added by the secretary to the activity file. So activities are added. So we'll put that there. So we need to have an activities file. And so we're going to add the data flow that way. It's going to be activity. Okay, Okay, now I can see already I've got an issue with 2.0 plan activity. I've got no data going in and only data going out, which means it must be which makes it a miracle. So I've got to find out what data is going in. So read the scenario again. The social club committee meets to plan activities and these are added by the secretary to the activity file. So who is generating the data that goes into that process? The actual social club committee is generating that data, which means that they must be an external entity. So let's add them as an external entity. So we'll put that on there. So we're going to add that here. And so they are the social club committee. And they are putting data into plan activity. So it's going to be new activity details. Okay, that looks better now. We've got something going in and something going out. Okay, what is the next one? A monthly newsletter listing all coming events is compiled and sent to each member. So we've got some data flowing back to the member. Now, I can't put a data flow through there because I'm going to cross that line. So let's put members back in here again. I'm going to put a line across there to show that it's duplicated members. And so we are having monthly newsletter listing all coming activities is compiled and sent to each member. So we're going to have that going there, and we're going to have upcoming event details is my data flow. We obviously need something coming into that. So what needs to go into that? Well, we need to feed in the activities. So we're going to feed in the activities, and we're going to call that, let's call it a no planned activity details. The other thing we need is we're going to send this to the members. So we need to get their email addresses. So we're going to need to get something from the members file again. So again, I'm going to duplicate the members file. A line there to show it's duplicated. Then I'm going to put a line through here, and it will be member contact details. Okay. Last process we've got, which is ads are sent to the local newspaper to inform the general public of the social club's coming events. Okay, so our last external entity, you could either write general public in here or newspaper company. I'm going to write general public because that's ultimately who the data is for. Now, what's going to them? What information coming to them is it's coming events, isn't it? And oops, let me just create right. And then what needs to go to them is stuff from the activities file. So I need to duplicate the activities file again. And the line shows duplicated. And then going into that, we've got planned activity details. Now, once I have done all that, I step back and have a check to check that I have got no black holes and no miracles. So, no, there's data coming in and out, data coming in and out, data coming in and out, data coming in and out. I've got a line next to my duplicated data stores and my external entities. As I read through the scenario, it makes sense. You can see the data flow between every process, and I think I am pretty happy with that one. And there you go. There is my Bull Creek Social Club DFD.